Hey guys, Twan here. Now, believe it or not, one of my New Year's resolutions was actually to make more YouTube videos. Now, I say more, some people don't know I used to make videos, but I stopped because I got really embarrassed. So why am I starting again now, you might ask? Two reasons. The first, as a person who's in his last semester of college, I have a lot of time on my hands. And the second reason is that I just have a lot of things that I want to put out there, and a lot of things that I feel would be advice to the right people who hear it. And I'd like to think, it could help someone. But more so than, that, I just want to put it out there and express myself. I express myself through writing and poetry and things like that, but video is also something that can be done. So, considering that it's a New Year's resolution, I thought it fit to give the viewers, you, my take on New Year's resolutions and 4 tips on how to turn your New Year's resolution into a lifestyle. Now, the first tip is to take it slow. Now, what does this mean? Now, I see this a lot with New Year's resolutions, but I see this with a lot of goals in general, is that when people try to achieve something, they just load themselves up all at once with too many things that they want to do. So let's say, to take a stereotypical example, someone who wants to lose weight. They tell themselves, I'm going to start going to the gym 5 days a week, I'm going to run 5 days a week, I'm going to cut out all junk food, all soda, and only eat chicken and salad for the rest of this year. Now, I'm not saying that there aren't people out there who can do that. They can put that load on themselves and achieve it. But the majority of people won't really be able to handle that and continue onwards with it. Because what you want to do is turn this into a habit. You want to turn this into a lifestyle. Now, how do you do that? You do that by taking small steps. Maybe instead of, completely going overboard, maybe you start saying, okay, I'm going to go to the gym once a week. And then once you start going once a week consistently, you start going twice a week. Or, if you could start with 3 times a week, and then maybe with your diet, you say something like, I'm going to cut out soda. I'm going to cut out dessert. And, you take it small steps at a time. Don't go overboard. And it's these small steps that become a habit, part of your lifestyle. Those are things that you can actually keep doing, and it'll contribute towards your goal. And at the end of the day, it's a step-by-step process. It's an inch-by-inch process. You add up all these steps, all these inches at the end of the day, and that's the difference between achieving your goal and not. It's not the summation of, all these different things you fit into one day. It's these small changes that you make day by day that add up at the end. So that's my first tip, take it slow. Now, my second tip is to enjoy the process. Now, what does this mean? If at the end of the day, the process of achieving your goal, the actual journey of achieving your goal, doesn't make you happy, then you might have to reassess why you're doing it. Now, see, this goes off my theory that most, if not all goals, no, I'm going to say most goals that people have for themselves will eventually boil down to the core value that you want to be happy, or that you want to be successful. So to take the example of losing weight again, why do you want to lose weight? Because you want to look better. Why do you want to look better? You want to feel more self-confidence. Why do you want to have more self-confidence? Because you want to be happy. And you know what? That's okay. But the thing is, if you're putting yourself through something that you feel is just a chore, and you literally hate every second of it, and you can't imagine this, but it kills your motivation sometimes when you think of it like that. Because there will be obstacles, there will be challenges, and suffering. But the key is that you must learn to enjoy the pain, embrace the suffering. Now that sounds a little weird on a surface level, and I admit that. But at this point, I'd point to a quote from Arnold Schwarzenegger. Now this applies to his bodybuilding career, but it's applicable here. He said, "Pain makes me grow. Growing is what I want. Therefore, for me, pain is pleasure." Now, basically what that means is, you gotta embrace the pain that will take you to where you want to be. You gotta look at every challenge and every obstacle and all the little things that you suffer day in and day out trying to achieve this as something that's bringing you closer to what you want. Each challenge is bringing you closer to what you want. One step in a journey of 1,000 steps. So then when you think of it like this, every time you meet a challenge, you meet some suffering, but it's bringing you closer, then you start to welcome those challenges. You start to welcome the suffering. And it's until you realize that this suffering will happen because that's inherent in hard work. You know, great things don't happen without hard work. Great things won't happen easy, at least not truly great things. You gotta work towards it. And it's all about consistency, you know, it's all about what you get inch by inch, step by step, like I said, when you want to take it slow. Now my third tip is don't go it alone. And there are two reasons for this. The first is just to have someone to motivate you, you know, a buddy. If you're planning on running, then have a running buddy. If you're planning on lifting, have a lifting buddy. If you, I don't know, want to learn how to play an instrument, maybe find someone who wants to do the same thing. And why is that? A person can have really, really strong ability to motivate you. And I know this, you know, just in general, it's just a social thing. When people are there, you will feel more motivated to work towards it. And the thing is, this isn't a required thing, but it's a really strong thing to have. It's to have support, like emotional and mental support. Because the person or people who support you, they're not giving you the power to do it. They're simply reminding you that you have the power to do it. They're not giving it to you. They're reminding you that you have it. And another thing with don't go it alone is that in this process, you might think that, you know, you might not need help. But, you know, seek out help, seek out advice, seek out people who've done what you want to do before and ask what they think. Ask, you know, how they went about it so then you know how to go about it correctly. You know, when I started working out, I really wish I had just, you know, swallowed my pride and just asked people how they did things, because then I would be way farther than I am now. I'm not very far. But yeah, it's just good to have help. And the last thing, the fourth thing, I'd say is one of the most important things, is trust yourself. Trust yourself to really know what you want and to give yourself internal motivation. At the end of the day, you're the only one who's going to get yourself to where you want to be. Trust yourself to know what you want, like what you want deep inside you, and trust yourself to achieve it, to get it there. So what does trust yourself mean in this context? It means believe in yourself. Believe that you can do it. You know, every time you wake up and you have this goal in mind, believe that you can do it. Because at the end of the day, if you don't believe you can do something, then you're going to work less hard than you should. You're going to put in less work, or you might not go intensely, or you might not go consistently because you just don't believe that it's going to happen. But the thing is, when you add it all up, when you take it slow, when you enjoy the process, when you welcome the challenges that will bring you closer, and maybe you have someone there, and then in the end you trust yourself to get you where you want to be, and just believe in yourself to know in your mind that you can achieve it, see yourself achieving it, then you will. But the core value is you have to trust yourself to get it. So this is a really long video, I'm sorry about this, but those are my 4 tips on how to turn your New Year's resolution into a lifestyle. I'm going to be doing more videos like this maybe every 2 to 3 weeks, and ideally cut them down in terms of length. But that's it for me. I will go now. Bye.